Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Well, this isn't my backyard. Where the heck am I? We got this big old backyard and we have a Luba sitting over there, but this isn't my yard. This is my brother's house. My brother and I both bought a Luba at the same time last June. I got mine in February of this year, and my brother was lucky enough to not get his until June of this year. Let's get this Luba its first time set up and get these no-go zones figured out. There are some interesting hazards. Mainly these steps here that used to go to the hot tub, but you can see there's no hot tub anymore. So I'm not sure if Luba's gonna be able to get over these steps or not. We'll have to figure that one out. But we're gonna get this all mapped out and see if this Luba can do his whole yard. He's already got Luba set up pretty good. I told him to put it out away from the house a few feet, and that he did perfectly. You can see the Luba sitting there with the RTK antenna. Now there is going to be a front yard area for Luba to cut as well, but it's on the other side of this fence and the gate is on the other side of the house. So we'll have to figure that out. It'll definitely be two zones, a front yard and a backyard with a pathway in between. So we got Luba updating now. It's installing the latest firmware here. We just kind of set the tablet there under the tree to keep it cool while the Luba is getting its new firmware. Alright, so we're doing the first time setup here. He has a tablet for me to use, so we're going to use the tablet and we are going to get this whole backyard mapped. What I'm thinking is I'm just going to do one big zone, and I don't think I'm going to mark off the play area. I think I'm just going to let the sensors go around it and see how that works out for him. I'll make sure he knows how to make a no-go zone before I leave, but I think that'll work out good. I'm just going to make one huge zone. I am going to make a no-go zone around these trees because they have needles at the bottom, and I think that would be hard for Luba's sensors to avoid. So I'm just going to make no-go zones around all these trees individually. About halfway around the backyard now. We had a few problems over there by that shed because it's metal. So driving real close to it, it caused it to lose GPS signal. But I only had to pause for maybe 10 seconds and it acquired more signals. So now we are going down the back fence line. I'm not going to make the pole a no-go zone. I'm just going to let the sensors figure it out. There is a rock up there that I'm going to have to go around. I just realized there is quite the steep angle here in this ditch. I don't know if it shows up on camera very well, but it's a pretty good angle going on down here. It's not so bad at that end of the yard, but on this end of the yard it's pretty steep. So that will be interesting to see it go through that. Alright, let's get back at it. So I've never used an Apple iPad before. I just mapped the whole yard with it like this. I didn't realize you could hit this button down in the corner and it makes it full screen. That would have been nice to know. Just finishing up the no-go zones here. We're putting no-go zones around the bottom of the trees where the pine needles are so it won't hinder the mowing. My brother's just learning how to drive Luba. So what we're going to do now, we're going to see if it can go home from the very far part of the front yard. So just hit the plug button there. Yep. Confirm return to charging station. Now it's going to drive autonomously, hopefully, and we're going to see if it will go home, or if it can figure out how to go home. Make sure all the channels are connecting. Yeah, you can see them articulating the springs. That's what we're talking about there. Let me zoom in on that. Oh, it crossed a zone, so it kind of paused. Hey now. So Luba has always had some weirdness when crossing zones. This is one of the weird things it does. Used to, it would spin a tight donut circle right there, but now it does nice wide turns, but it still turns in its circle. I imagine they're working on fixing that. That's just one of the oddities that you deal with for now. Anyway, zooming back in on the springs, you can see them kind of bouncing around there. That no-go zone may be too close to the boundary. It might not even mow there. We'll have to test that out. And it's going back. So now it's going back. Oh, picked up some dog poop. It's been christened. There, it kind of wiped it off. It took that sharp turn.
Will that be an issue?
No, that won't be an issue, but that pine cone may be eventually. I'm more worried about why it didn't go through that passage there. Because right now they have some weirdness about no-go zones. It doesn't like get real close to the edge of them. So you can see Luba's little house back there. Hopefully it's going to make it. I took out that paver right there, so it doesn't have an obstacle now. Where are you going, Luba? Oh, it's crossing a zone. It's going to do its little Luba dance. It's Luba, I'm crossing the zone dance. Okay, now it's through it, maybe. There it goes. Right there is where you're going to want to put the middle of the mat. Right there where it's twisting. It's just a few feet, maybe 1.5 meters in front of the charging. And there it goes. We're in the front yard now. He seems to be getting a little bit better at driving it. Now you can't see it. So touch where it says fine cutting, because you don't need to do fine. Just do efficient for now.
Let me find out where that's at.
Efficient.
Confirm.
Well,
Okay.
there was some more options there. So now you got your cut height there.
Okay, that's fine.
2.4, 2.6,
So how does it get?
2.8 is the highest.
Okay, we'll try that.
Okay, so then you just say start. And it'll drive over there. So this is, hold that still a second. These no-go zones there is what I'm kind of worried about. They might be too close to the edge of the zone. We'll have to see when you mow this zone if it's. Thank you for the one cloud today that has come over. So Luba's now going to start mowing this area here on the front yard, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to stand here and monitor it since it's the first time it's going around. What Luba likes to do, Luba wants to start over there for some reason, so it kind of cuts a path across to where it wants to start, and then that's where it starts, over there on the other side. Watch how it kind of turns in this corner. Instead of doing a tank turn that's harsh in the grass, it'll kind of bounce forward and backwards a few times. See, that's been finessed in the updates because it was a lot more difficult on the grass to start with, but now it kind of bounces back and forth to not tear up the grass so much. Now here's Luba out there working away. We're inside now where it's much cooler, and we can still see what's going on here through the Luba app. Alright, well, thanks for watching this short episode of me over here at my brother's house getting his Luba 5000 set up. You want to say bye to everybody?
Hey, have a good evening.
Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next episode.